Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Come on, go, 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 go. Son of a... So it's been 2 weeks and about 200 hours for me since Tears of the Kingdom came out. I did finish the main story, only because I felt severely pressured, because the internet being what it is. Eventually, I was going to run into spoilers, and I did not want to. There is so much more going on with the story, and I got very wrapped up into it. So now that I have finished that, I can focus so much more on everything else that they have going on in this game, including this ridiculous optional boss. So there's the Fire Gleeok, there's the Frozen one, there's the Thunder one, then there is the King Gleeok that has one of each head. This just happened to be the first one that I came across, and in my opinion, it's probably the easiest one just based on the location and using Ascend to get above it and fire at the heads. As overwhelming as they look, once you get into the pattern, it's like the Lynels, you just get used to the flow. They're not that hard, but also like the Lynels, you got like no room for error. They're pretty much one-shot kills. If they hit you, you're gonna die, even if you are significantly farther along in the game than I happen to be when I made this video. So regardless of which one or where you're fighting them, the pattern is gonna be the same. Get above them in any way you can, hit the heads a couple of times, that'll knock them down, and then just wail on the head as long as you can. If you can go at them with the elemental weapons, it is going to make a difference, not just because of the damage, but also when you're fighting the Fire Gleeok, it is going to be the unbearable heat, and having the ice weapon will keep you from taking damage the same way you would if you were wandering around the desert. If you don't have ice weapons, or if you don't want to use them, you're going to at least need some kind of a food, or you're going to be taking damage the entire time as a result of the heat. Also, save your game before you try this, because in all likelihood, regardless of how you come at it, you're probably going to die. A lot. But just keep at it, and eventually, after you take one down, the rest of them don't seem nearly as bad. For the most part, they don't fly that high, and it's not that hard to get in a position where you can actually shoot them in the head. But once the health gets to about where it is right here, is when they start flying really high and hitting you with the huge attack. In this case with the Flame Gleeok, as long as you avoid the giant fireball, you can ride the wave of it up and just shoot all three heads again. But as I have demonstrated, it's hard to avoid that fireball while at the same time staying close enough to ride the wave upward. Now, if you time it right, you can make your life a whole lot easier. Right here is the point where he would fly super high and shoot the giant fireball. But if you can get back on top of him and hit the three heads again, you can knock him down and skip that giant fireball attack completely. And don't forget about fall damage. That does come up a lot with these things. If you're gonna die because the Gleeok killed you, not because you fell to your death. And when they're on the ground like this, if you hit them in the neck or the body, it is still gonna do damage. Try and hit them in the head, it does a whole lot more. And there you have it. Now, while Gleeok slaying is its own reward, the parts are fantastic if you need to sell them, because I am constantly out of money in this game in a way I never was previously. They also make fantastic elemental weapons for fighting the other Gleeoks. And speaking of the other Gleeoks, the general principles are going to be about the same. Reverse the fire for the frost, hit them a bunch in the head, use the elemental weapons not only for the damage, but also to protect you from the frost the way you did the fire. And also keep in mind, you're probably still gonna die a lot. Now, I found at least 3 of the Flame Gleeoks. I don't know if there are more. This is the only one that I was actually able to kill. The only 2 frost ones that I've been able to find are not in particularly great areas. This one is actually not too far from the stable up in Hebra, but again, it's not quite as easily laid out as the Flame one was. I found 2 Thunder Gleeoks so far. This one in the Colosseum, where the Lynel used to be in Breath of the Wild, is overwhelmingly easier than the other one, which was in, I think, Akala, by the fort that used to be covered in Guardians in Breath of the Wild. That one doesn't have a really good area for you to get up on, whereas with the Colosseum, you can just keep using Ascend and go from there. Now, while the King Gleeoks look absolutely terrifying, They're really not that much different from fighting all the other ones. Where they get difficult is going to be at the end. Because instead of just avoiding either fire or lightning or ice or one of the elements, you're going to have all three of them pounding you down at once. And because you have all three of them coming down at once, honestly, this was more I eventually got lucky, because there's really no way to avoid everything that they got coming at you. Now, at least with the final part of the Gleeok fights, when they do fly super high, if you shoot them when they're super high and they fall to the ground, that fall also does cause damage, and if you've weakened them enough by that point, like here, that might be enough to actually kill them. And just in case all of that has not been enough fun so far, there's an underground, gloom-covered King Gleeok. Same thing as before, you got one of each head, except you're running around somewhat in the dark, and if you get hit, it's covered in gloom, so you're going to start losing hearts. Now, it's been pretty obvious that I've been doing these at very different parts during the playthrough. I avoided the King Gleeoks intentionally until much later with the Master Sword. Regardless of what point you try and fight them, you're going to need food for the hearts, you're going to need food for the stamina, and then on the underground one, you're going to need the food that replenishes the hearts that you lose from getting hit with the gloom as well. Also, fun fact that I learned the hard way, if you lose hearts due to the gloom and you eat the food that's going to overfill the hearts, that does not replenish the hearts that you lost. Just kind of waste them. Do not do what I did. I was pissed. But yeah, that's everything with the Gleeoks. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Have you tried fighting them? Have you died multiple times? Wasted all your arrows and broken all your good weapons? Have you rage quit? Because I certainly did many times along the way. But if you like what you heard, hit the subscribe button. There is so much more to go into with this game. This is pretty much all I've done for the last couple of weeks, and I am nowhere near finished.